Jesus' harshest critics were the religious leaders of his time. The people who had something to lose, who had an established identity and framework based around a familiar religion that they understood, that they comprehended, and they had already folded their entire being around. They already lived their life in their system. It was familiar, comfortable. It was known, it was understood. The journey, the quest that they had was within that framework, and they didn't need something from outside of that framework to tell them that there was anything different or something needed to change. There's an echo of this settled idea, this settled religiosity that overflows from Christianity today. Over and over and over again, I keep having these interactions with Christians who I have been my entire life a Christian, up until very recently, less than a year ago. But for 35 years of my life, I have been a devout Christian with all my heart. I could probably school most people still on Bible verses and all that. It's a place where I've grown and I've had a lot of spiritual progress. And now, having let go of Christianity and opened myself up to experiencing reality without the framework that was given to me, I do say things that are provocative, but they're meant to invoke conversation, invoke introspection. And a lot of times the reaction I get is the reaction similar to what Jesus got. The religious leaders of Jesus's time didn't like that what Jesus was saying was causing them to look at things differently. They didn't like that. They liked how they had their system, that they understood it. There was a comfortability there. There was a knowing there. And so many times when I say certain things, be it, an Instagram post or a Facebook or a video here, the reaction that will follow is from a person that's guarding something that can't be touched. I saw a meme that my friend had, and I was like, hey, I'm going to post that too. It was something to the effect that you were born evil, sinful, and dirty, and there was a divine murder that happened, and it's your fault, and if you don't accept the divine murder, then you'll be forever spent in hell. It's kind of like an unfair wording, but in a way, it is an angle for which was described to me as my Christian experience. And I guess, from the wording, no one knows that I'm not coming from a place of like, I hate you, I hate God, I hate all this. It's really, I'm inquisitive, I'm curious. I want to open my hands and look through things in a different framing and see if there's some nooks and crannies of my heart that I've missed, or some ways in which that framing, that you are inherently sinful, you are inherently fucked up, did that fuck me up? And I don't know that until I give myself the opportunity to look at that in a different framing. But people have really responded. And a lot of times, someone will reveal their heart by how they respond. And that was the case with the religious leaders around Jesus. When Jesus acted in ways that were not in their structure of how they thought, they fought back. They came at him with different ideas and understandings of like, you just don't understand like we understand. These are the scriptures, Jesus. These are the rules that we follow. We follow these because we honor God and we honor the Torah. We honor the law given to us by Moses. Don't you honor those things? Now, never before was that framing before Jesus. Never before was that framing an inappropriate framing. That was natural. Jesus was a Jew. Yet, in their heart, they felt that there was something wrong with what Jesus was doing. He wasn't honoring their system. He wasn't honoring what was their life. He wasn't understanding. So he needed to be explained and proved further. But what Jesus was demonstrating is he was demonstrating love. Dare I say he was living out the personification of love. And yet, those who had a vested interest in their religious system fought against love. They fought against love because the love that was being shown wasn't the flavor they understood. I'm sure in that time there was ways that you were supposed to give to the poor. There was ways you were supposed to take care of widows. But Jesus said, but in a way Jesus demonstrated love is the immediate act and not the necessity of you doing it. So much, I have gotten really good heartwarming responses from people that have hands open and they're really willing to listen, Christians, that are really willing to listen. So I'm not making an indictment on all Christians, but there is a flavor that is pervasive inside of Christianity, and it resonates so deeply with the strong contemporary religious system of Jesus's time that didn't need Jesus. They had it all set. They had it figured out. They didn't need what he was selling. And what's funny is Jesus wasn't selling anything. He was meeting people where they were at and demonstrating love to them in a way that confounded everyone. Everyone was confounded by Jesus' love. So who is available to judge the worthiness of your love, of my love? Who's worthy? Who is it? Are you loving the way that you believe that you're supposed to be loving? Because the trap is we can become blind to our own heart and our own intentions. How do you know that you're not in a system that's coloring language, that's inherently saying you are evil and flawed by virtue of being born and existing? I know that's like a core tenet of Christianity, but realize what you're communicating to your children, to yourself, to your friends. Now, if you believe that, there's nothing wrong with you believing that. I've believed that all my life. Up until recently. But if you believe that someone is inherently flawed just by virtue of them existing, and then, you have the whole reason of, so that's why you need Jesus, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. But realize what you are communicating to a person. And yes, I know, I hear you, Christian, that's saying, yeah, but isn't it the most loving thing you can say to someone who has cancer or is hurt that you need to be saved? Yeah, I hear that. But I'm not resolving your problem. I'm just letting you know that when you communicate to a person or a child like me, I learned from a very young age, you are flawed by virtue of existing. When you communicate that to a person, you are wrong as you are. As you exist, you are wrong, broken. You are out of the beautiful divine. You are cast out. And if you don't find a way in, you also spend forever in hell. Again, I'm not resolving the problem that you believe is to be true, that a person is wrong and they need to be saved. I'm just letting you know, when you communicate to a person that they are wrong, you're also communicating that you're right, or at least what you believe is right. Now, I get it. The whole thing makes sense to you because it made sense to me. And I'm not here to tell you to not believe in anything. I'm just letting you know that Jesus never made someone feel like shit for how they believed unless that person believed they knew better than him. Because then he got pissed. Then he flipped over tables. Then he called them brood of vipers, snakes. That's who Jesus called those names to. People that were not personifying the love that he was truly embodying. It's our call. It's a tough call, but it's a call that we have to honor. Do not miss out on the purpose of your love. Your love is not to resolve a brokenness that you may or may not believe is there in someone else. Your love is to meet someone exactly where they're at and make them feel met, not so you can save them, but so you can be present with them and love exactly who they are. Christian and non-Christian. Love a person exactly where they are. Do that. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you can't love someone else, maybe it's because you can't love yourself, and that's a good place for you to start too. Hi, well, I'm Daniel, and I'm a life coach and former Christian, and I still enjoy God and Jesus, and I guess I'm a complicated person. I'm not easy to put in a box, but I love making this type of content because I love the conversations that come from it, even when it triggers people, because I'm there with you. I'm still processing and I'm still feeling a lot. If you're interested in talking to me more, feel free to connect with me. There's a link in the descriptions. I'd love to sit down and chat with you. Free 30-minute call. We just get to know each other. See if you want to talk more. I've been in the process of healing through my religious experience, but I'm also someone that wants to support someone on theirs. I have no problem with Christians existing. I want you to just feel the love that you deserve and be able to give it as well. So I'm here to help you on your journey, as I'm sure your heart is also to help me on mine. Like, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Peace.